Welcome to The Pit. Here with us today are Jason Buttrell, geopolitical analyst for TheBlaze, Antonia Okafor, Southwest Regional Director at the Students for Concealed Carry, and Jason Howerton, Deputy Managing Editor for TheBlaze. Thank y'all so much for joining The Pit.
Pleasure.
So I got to ask y'all, we got a story here where Trump's new right-hand man accuses Cruz of campaign Gestapo tactics. So, my first question is, are they pulling Trump out of the media right now and bringing him forward because Trump has become a liability to his own campaign? One. And two, do y'all think Cruz has been a little dirty here, a little shady?
I don't get where these Gestapo tactics are. I mean, even if you ask Manafort, he will not give specifics. Like, what do you mean Gestapo tactics? What are you talking about? I'm not going to give any specifics because he really doesn't have any. There's nothing dirty about what Ted Cruz is doing. The thing is that Trump is butthurt now. He's butthurt because Manafort wasn't on board like the Cruz campaign was since day one, since this whole thing started. For some reason, he just now found out that the delegate thing is kind of an important deal. Maybe we should run a campaign that's a little bit more traditional than what other people have run in the past. He's just now figuring this out. So there's nothing dirty. He's just playing by the rules. Whether you like them or not, he's playing by the rules.
Antonia, has Trump become a liability for his own campaign?
I mean, I think, after a couple of weeks ago with that weekend where he just had an awful weekend where he was backtracking constantly on the abortion issue. And I think a lot of people who were that was his thing, right? That he was confident and he never backtracks. And people loved that about him. He was an anti-PC candidate. And so they see this guy who's, stumbling his words and constantly have to talk about, saying, oh, I didn't really mean it that way. And unfortunately, now he's in the North area where people tend to like that. So I think the campaign is probably, okay, let's figure out something else. Yeah.
Jason, is Donald Trump going to be able to U-turn this ship? Because before we thought there was nothing that he could say to tank his campaign. I mean, he's attacked women, vets, should I keep going on, journalists. I mean, it's just a nonstop. Is this the fall of Trump, or will he make a U-turn?
I think you should have learned by now to never try to predict the fall of Trump. But what bothers me, to be honest with you, we sit here and we dissect all these comments that are made by Cruz and by Trump and by the campaigns, whatever, as if everything that is said is concocted in a room of stuffy dudes who go and they think about the messaging and they accuse people of Gestapo. Like, none of it actually means anything, because tomorrow it could be something completely, like you've seen with Trump, like on abortion, like tomorrow it could be something different because it works that, like, this whole, like, I'm ready for it to be over, because none of it means
I think we all are.
anything anymore. It's all just campaign talking points that evolve on a daily basis, and no one actually means anything they're saying anymore.
Speaking of evolving, in Colorado, Trump is also upset that there was no vote, popular vote, and he thinks that if he would have won the popular vote, that, if there was a popular vote, that he would have won the campaign. And so Cruz got all the delegates. And Tony, I see you shaking your head. Do you think this is a dirty trick, or do you think,
What did the poll say?
I mean, I'm a precinct chair, so I feel like you have to know the process if you're going to be a part of it. There's a difference between a voter and a delegate, and that's it. And that's has always been like that.
Yeah.
Yes, the voters are important, but we also need. I mean, this is America, where we, representative democracy, where we have people who represent us and who go go represent us for the party and say, we're going to vote this way. And if you don't understand that process,
was there polling in Colorado?
What was the polling saying?
I'm asking.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who's winning in the poll. But does that matter?
But look. The bottom line, though, it happened. They made that decision a year ago.
But the polls are.
So it's not like they were conspiring against Trump.
Right.
To allege that is nonsense. But
that's what's funny, though, is Trump could have come out with this way beforehand. Yeah. But again, he hasn't been properly prepared like everybody else that's running has been.
Do y'all think that part of the problem is that Trump is not a Republican, and so he doesn't know how the process works? Can I say that he's not a Republican? He's really not a Republican.
No, he's not. Not in principle.
Do y'all think that's part of the problem, that he doesn't know how the system works because he's not a Republican? So he hasn't been through the training of being a precinct chair. And
some might say that works to his favor, that he's not a politician, therefore he doesn't know the processes. Yeah, I could see him spinning that to even rile up his base and get more support, saying, "How would I know? I'm not a Washington insider. I don't know."
Yeah,
how
but
this
it's
process
not.
works."
It's not being a politician knowing how to simple. You know, I mean, I learned that in 5th grade.
No,
You know
I
what I'm
agree,
saying?
but I'm saying, like, to a lot of his base, the more he doesn't look like a politician who knows what's going on, the more they like him.
And that's scary though, because do we like go to a test and have someone go, oh well, I didn't study at all, but you know that's good. You're anti-establishment.
Are you
didn't
saying he's
study at all,
unfit?
so
Are you
you have
saying he's
no idea what
unfit?
you're doing. There's a fine line when it comes to that. You know, okay, yeah, you can be anti-establishment and not be a politician, but you need to know what's going on, or you're not going to win, because it's all about winning, right? And if you're going to win, you have to know the game.
But he's been winning so far.
Well, you brought up that it's a people that don't understand the system. We're a representative democracy. We're not a pure democracy, and actually, pure democracies are kind of dangerous. In fact, the system we have now is like basically like a big firewall. And what it does is it protects us from people like Trump or from people like Sanders. It protects us from radical populists coming up and giving away and buying their votes and giving out free food, free money, and all this stuff, and buying their way to the top. And then we'll get a Hitler or a Mussolini or a Trump.